With the United Nations General Assembly underway, New York City is under tight security. This video is from yesterday. You see the president arriving with the First Lady surrounded by police. When you pull out a little closer, you might see the military-style equipment. UN resident, correspondent, and CBS News foreign affairs analyst Pamela Falk is at the United Nations in New York City and joins us now. Pamela, you see these heavily armed men traveling with the president. What's the scene like at the UNGA regarding security right now?
Hi, Rena. You see cement trucks, barricades, roads closed. The security around this year's General Assembly is absolutely intense. You have the U.S. Secret Service, the NYPD, the State Department Diplomatic Secret Service, and for the second time, actually 3 years running, this UNGA, the UN General Assembly, is designated as a national security special event, which gives the Secret Service the power to draw on personnel from other federal law enforcement agencies. So you see everything, and a lot of rifles around and everywhere, in the river and on the street.
So is there a sense as to why? I mean, do you feel you've covered these numerous years in a row, Pamela? Is there a sense that something's different this go round?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, there was George W. Bush, Rena, after 9/11. There was Pope Francis last year. What NYPD says is that it was actually more intense last year, and it always is with the Pope because of the crowds. And, of course, last year there was a bomb attack by a terrorist in Chelsea, so they had to deal with a major terror attack investigation at the same time as all the world leaders were arriving. But generally speaking, they said there are at least 10 countries that are high risk, another 20 that are medium risk. You've got President Trump and his cabinet, President Trump for the first time coming to the UN General Assembly, his family, the whole team, and as well as the North Koreans, the Israeli Prime Minister. It's just, there are a lot of targets is what they have all said.
You talk about the targets. Are there any particular credible threats at this point? Anything that NYPD is saying they're particularly concerned about?
They don't ever say that they're concerned, but what they said was the New York Counterterror Deputy Commissioner John Miller told me this morning that the counterterrorism overlay includes hundreds of uniformed officers around the UN, harbor patrols in the East River, airborne assets scanning ships outside the port for any suspicious radiation signatures, helicopters scanning rooftops, counter sniper teams from the NYPD, motorcycles, cars, you name it. And it's really because, of course, terrorism is on the rise and because there's so many high-profile visitors.
All right, Pamela Falk covering the United Nations and the increase in security there as well. Thank you for joining us, Pamela.
Absolutely, Rena.